We're on.
I'm waiting for you to do the intro.
Well, we're on. We're on.
Good job.
Well,
Well,
the whole thing just blows up on me, so guys.
You're mocking me? No, I'm not mocking you. It's Mocking With You, the podcast that settles the debates once and for all with your host, Lil B, and the hater.
hello.
Oh,
Sorry, we had some technical difficulties there, but that happens with even the best. But welcome to the Mocking With You podcast. Last week we brought you our edge and linebackers, and this week we're bringing you our corners, our safeties, and
and our
our
linebackers.
and our linebackers. We are bringing you a whole bunch, so we're changing it up this week a little bit because of everything. We're gonna do our top five. We're gonna go down our top five first, let the other one react, and then they're gonna give their top five, and then we're gonna go back and do 6 through 10 this week for each position for what we have. So let's go ahead and get into it. And Chris, go ahead and start with your top 1 through 5
Me.
cornerbacks. Yes, you.
Oh, you put that guy in here. All right, don't worry.
I'm gonna
Don't
make
worry,
you
I'm
go
ready.
first.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this. Let's go.
Let's
Number
see how
one
different we are.
linebacker. Linebacker one is Jack
Linebacker.
Campbell from Iowa. The dude is the dog. He's the dog. And don't you say otherwise until I get to number 5. Number 2, Bruce Sanders. Now, this is like this, though. It's like this. This is how close they were. And, like, just like Jack Campbell had more of a dog in him. He's like, woof, woof, woof. So, I'm back to Bruce Sanders. Number 3. I had a hard time putting him here, but he's got such quickness. Clint Simpson. I don't know why I call him Samson. And it,
I know.
but,
It's Simpson, but you do want to call him
but
Simpson.
Simpson. Clint Simpson, like O.J. Simpson, without stabbing. But
Jesus fucking.
number 4, the Marvin Overshawn.
I'm the one supposed to have trouble with pronouncing names,
Yeah,
not you.
well, I was gonna say the Mario. I don't know, like the Mario Davis, but that the Marvin Overshawn.
Woo! He's,
Ooh, I'm
slow down. It's okay. You can get there.
It's one of the best blitzing linebackers in the draft, and when this guy hits you, you're gonna feel it tomorrow.
Yeah, he was laying lumber. A lot of these linebackers lay the lumber. Let's
They're
just
all
face
these
it.
linebackers and laying some lumber. Let's be real
Yeah.
here. We ain't getting no empties. No
Yeah.
empties. Some empties. And my number 5 is this is an even harder one. Dejon Henley.
Dejon Henley for God,
From Auburn.
yeah, Auburn. Thank
Right?
you. No, that's Oma Papa or Owen Papa. Henley is
Well,
not
that's
from.
Henley
is Maryland.
Maryland. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't even
Yeah.
close. I was
Yeah.
not even close.
Not even the right one. All right. So my first thing reaction is, and it's the number one for a lot of people, but for me, it's not. And that's Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell, after watching his tape, is a great linebacker. Don't get me wrong, but watching his tape, Hey, you got your moment. It's not my turn. Now you sit there and listen. So Jack Campbell, for me, got lost in the wash a lot when it was the Big 7. That he was washed in a lot and just got lost in there and never made a play. And then I felt like he took the wrong hole a lot. You could say it was the scheme. All right, there was no other linebacker taking that hole that was supposed to be taken. It was that running back, definitely the running plays. Jack Campbell would take the A gap and the running back would take the B gap. It's just that Jack Campbell, those are my concerns. He's great in coverage. He probably is the best coverage linebacker in this draft. But because of, I think his run support is a little weaker, I have him down further. I'm not saying he's out of my top 3. I'm just saying because of those issues I saw on tape, I have him lower. But you and me have 4 of the same top 5 linebackers. I just have a different number 5 than you. And here's my top 5. So just like you a little differently, but my number 1 is Drew Sanders coming out of Arkansas. Drew Sanders, like you said, is a dog. He can pass rush, and he gets to the quarterback, and he can lay the lumber. And he's also probably arguably the same as good as Jack Campbell in coverage. So I just think all around, Drew Sanders is probably the best running linebacker in this class.
My only problem. Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
no, you're fine. Now, my number 2 is Trenton Simpson. Trenton Simpson, to me, was a very good linebacker, very distinctive, and had a quick first step and very fast to the quarterback, as you said, and to the backfield. And Simpson was all over the field all the time. And I just loved that about him. And then number 3 was Jack Campbell. So he's in my top 3. I won't argue if he goes number 1. I'm not saying I hate Campbell. And again, minute differences between my 1 through 3. I'm not saying that like he's horrible. I just had him a little bit lower in the grading system. My number 4 is DeMarvion Overshawn from Texas. Another great linebacker. Another one. All these top 5 for me, great quick step, great to the quarterback, great around the field, and all laid the lumber. I don't think that any of these top 10, besides maybe 1, can tackle. Going back for a second for Campbell, I felt like Campbell missed a lot of tackles too. He led a lot. He had a lot of tackles. He had like 120 tackles. He could have probably had 150. I saw him toe grabbing a lot. And then my number 5 is Nick Herbig from Wisconsin. This man had 11 and a half sacks. This dude has good bend. He comes off the edge really quick. He has a good power bull rush move, and he has a good decent spin to get to the quarterback. I could arguably have put Nick in my edge, but I'm going to say he's a 3-4 edge. He could be in the middle. He can come up the corner. I think Nick could be very diverse for a good defensive coordinator out there, and could be having 10 sacks a season for him. He could be that kind of linebacker for you. So those are my top 5.
Well, I'm putting him in my difference between Trenton Simpson and Matt Campbell. It's like that. It's like that.
See,
it's like that.
It's like that.
Simpson, I did it again. Simpson can't cover.
I disagree. He was in coverage a lot in making plays in coverage. He can cover. Is he as good as Campbell? No, but he's lost a lot. I think you need to go rewatch your boy. I think you need to go look, because Simpson was not getting washed in the wash like your boy Campbell.
Lost in the wash.
Yeah.
Well,
watch.
Well, and on the Nick Herbig, so we can just move this along a little bit here. Nick Herbig, the problem with him is like, well, I don't think he's actually a linebacker. He should have been he was kind of like a guy that didn't put in that 10 for my edge position. He's really an edge linebacker. Outside linebacker.
I think, I won't argue that at all. Like I said, I would not. But I think in the right system, he could be everything for you. I mean, he could easily you can make him a pass rushing edge rusher. I'm not putting him Alden Smith level, but just the guy who comes in on, those passing downs and go and get the quarterback. He could be that, but I'm saying he could be more. Yeah, but all right, who's your six?
I was watching some Oklahoma State tape the other day. I was watching the little outside linebacker they got. He's turning out Alden Smith, and he'll get it back next year. So my number 6 is Henry Pellatella.
Okay.
So, know him very well.
Yes, I do.
Well, while I think that he's late in the run game, he's a good tackler, he can't cover.
He's a little weaker in the coverage.
He's a little weak in the coverage department. And, yeah, that's why he's number 6. And now number 7 is the boy Nick Herbig. And again, it's more of, I don't think he's a middle linebacker. He's not a middle linebacker. So, what are we doing with what is linebacker? If we have edge, and linebacker now is what? Is linebacker middle linebacker? Are we talking about outside linebacker?
That's
outside
the thing.
linebacker outside linebacker.
But no teams stick with one lineup anymore. No team really out there is base 4-3 or 3-4. So many teams run a hybrid defense now.
Exactly, and that's why I have a hard time with these guys. And that's the whole thing here. And how I'm judging this, you may not do this the same way, but I'm looking for a middle linebacker, straight up middle linebacker. And that was
why can't he be a 4? What if it's a 4-3 team? Why can't he be an outside linebacker for a 4-3 team? That's not an edge, but that's a linebacker.
Wait, outside linebacker 4-3.
So
but,
I mean, you're.
Again, I don't know what I'm looking at as far as linebackers from like definition. I had to, no.
So who's your 8, 9, and 10?
My 8 and 9 and 10. Let's see. I'll click about this. Sebastian Dennison, what he told me, and then I watched his tape. It's a dog. This dude is a dog. He's in every play there is. Number 7. Just for you, Logan. Number 7. Watch his number. And go watch the tape again. And you're going to see a dog. He may not make the best plays, and may not have the flexibility, but he gives an effort. Number 9 is my big Jack Club. And it's just because I watched the game where he had a sack, a forced fumble, a fumble return, and an interception that fits. So that's like hitting the cycle. And that man's Charlie Thomas. Those set. And number 10, and I feel dirty putting him at 10 because he shouldn't even be on the list, and that's Noel Sue.
So I'll have to shamelessly admit that Noel is on my top 10 too, and I agree with you. I completely understand. He's not impressive. I don't understand the hype like when he was getting it during the before all the draft process started.
And then now
it's obviously after everything's happening, Sewell is free falling right now, and rightfully so.
The combine did help them, but like
he had 55 tackles as a middle linebacker for Oregon.
Yeah, that didn't help him. That did not help.
I'm shocked. All right, so my 6 through 10, and I'm shocked this man does not make your list. And that is Dorian Williams from Tulane. Now, you want to talk about a dog. Dorian Williams is a dog. I love him. He is my draft crush. Dorian Williams does everything you want from a linebacker, and he doesn't give up, which I love. He gets to the quarterback. He's good in coverage. He's nasty. He hits you and doesn't make you want to get back up. Dorian Williams is a nasty linebacker. My number 7 is Henry Toto. Again, like you said, he's a solid middle linebacker. Hopefully he can improve his pass coverage in the NFL with some good coaching. He is a little weak there, as we previously mentioned. Good run defender and just a good overall linebacker. I just think he's one of those linebackers that will always be in around for a while. Just never great, just a solid linebacker. Number 8 is Denye Henley, as we previously mentioned. I loved him as well. Another guy who never gave up, always around everywhere. Another good linebacker coming out of Maryland. Number 9 is Owen Papo, the linebacker from Auburn. I felt like he did a lot of things on the tape right in the middle linebacker, really good in coverage. And then number 10 is Noel Sewell. He didn't do anything great. Like I said, I felt dirty putting him in my top 10, but I felt like you can argue anybody at 10. And I wasn't sure where you had Sewell, so I wanted to talk about him a little bit. But we both had him there. I wish I put somebody else, some other of the guys I liked in there, like Nick Hampton out of Appalachian State. I'll throw him out there really quick. He's a good linebacker. But that's our top 10 linebackers. Let's move it to our top 10 cornerbacks. And I'll go first here. And coming in number 1 is, I know somebody's draft crush as well, and that's Christian Gonzalez. He's obviously the number 1 here. My number 2 is Devin Witherspoon coming out of Illinois. Number 3 is Joey Porter Jr. I don't think anybody's going to argue those top 3. I think a lot of people, that's going to be their 1, 2, 3. This is where it gets a little different, I think, for most people. And number 4 is Deontay Banks for Maryland. The dude is just everywhere. I love Banks. Banks is becoming one of my favorites. And here is one of my draft crushes. And number 5. And I know if our boy's listening, he's going to love this. And that's Emmanuel Forbes. This guy is a toothpick, but he does not play like a toothpick. He is a dog. He is in there blocking. It's Washington State for Henley, not Maryland. I apologize. That's Daniel Henley from Washington State. But Emmanuel Forbes is just a dog. I love his physicality for his size, and he is like white on rice when he is covering you in corner. He is a better off the ball than he is on the ball. On man on man, he's a better zone and off the ball corner. But in the zone coverage, he's not letting you catch the ball. And he, like I said, he locks you down when he gets his hands on you, which I found amazing for his size. So those are my 1 through 5. Chris, what do you think? Chris, you there? Can't hear you, Chris.
Oh, well, I had
There you
my
go.
microphone in it as well. Well, I can't argue 1 through 3. I can argue number 4 here. Right? So, number 1, 2, 3, Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon. Joey Porter Jr. So, quick that I know Porter Jr. If you watch his hairstyle, he's going to get a lot of holding calls. A lot of holding calls.
You saw that.
Yeah,
You saw him get called a lot on tape. He was very, very
Very
handsy.
handy. And he doesn't quite know the technique yet to get away with it. But he can learn that. He's going to be one of the best corners in the league. So, my number
And he can't
4.
catch. He's
No,
not going to.
the man thinks he's playing volleyball.
There were so many times on tape, I was like, "Oh, pick!"
Back the ball. Back the ball.
There were so many times I thought he had an interception and he dropped it. I was like, "Oh,
And
come on!"
one time, yeah, he was like, got the ball, got in his hands, and blocked.
Yeah.
Don't expect him to be a ball hawk, okay?
Yeah.
Number
never.
4 for me is Cam Smith.
I love Cam Smith. It hurt. Cam is another one of my crushes. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This guy is like Velcro. And he gets away, and he knows how to hide it, too. He reminds me of another corner that came out on the, what's his name?
For who?
For South Carolina. Came out
Stuffing
a year ago.
Oh, jeez. Hold on. Keep going, and I'll find it.
See, this is why it's loving young still. Deontay Banks is number 5. Like, this guy, like, it wasn't the Christian Gonzalez or Devin Witherspoon or, the other guys ahead of him. He's the number 1 corner in the class. This guy's a lockdown corner. Like, the top 5 right here are just lockdown corners. Like, all of them. You're going to get a really solid corner who knows how to lock a wide receiver down for 60 minutes. And what we still have not figured out. That's
No,
by the
it's not.
Panthers. Come on.
Oh God. Oh my. Oh, it's your
Oh,
boy
oh,
that you
oh.
love.
It's my boy. How do I get his name? Oh,
J.C. Horn.
Jason Horn. Oh, yeah. And his dad playing in it, though. Come on.
Yeah, that was
Joe
rough. Sorry,
Horn.
guys.
The legend. All right, what's number 6 for you?
Who's your top 10? Oh, who's your number 5?
That was my number 5.
Okay, so
That's
my
it.
number 6. Okay, sorry. So 6 through 10. So 6 for me is Cam Smith. Love Cam Smith as well. Again, for me, I could see 5 corners going in this. I can see 6 corners. Again, this is a top heavy draft, so it's very hard. Some of these guys are gonna fall, and some teams are gonna get great values. But Cam Smith is my number 6. Shockingly, Keely Ringo has fallen all the way down to 7. His combine definitely.
You're really polite for putting him at 7.
He's still a good corner. I just think he had a down year. I'm not gonna completely hang him to dry. His combine definitely helped him. So Keely Ringo is my number 7. Number 8 is DJ Turner, who definitely had a great season, but his combine really helped his draft stock. So DJ Turner out of Michigan corner, he's fast and he can cover. And here at number 9 is a draft crush for me. And I would love him in Packers, but this to me screams Seattle Seahawks corner. And it's Kai Blue Kelly, a big physical cornerback coming out of Stanford. I love Kai Blue Kelly, and I was just enamored with him on tape and loved everything he does.
Yeah. And where did it look from now?
Stanford, yeah. So I would not be shocked if Kai Blue Kelly is wearing the green and the Seattle Seahawks colors by draft day, because he screams Seattle corner because he is a big physical corner.
They don't know in the ballers.
Yeah. And then my number 10 for me is Clark Phillips III out of Utah. A ball hawk is what Clark Phillips III is. I think he had 6 interceptions this past season. And the dude, all he does is find the hole. He reads the quarterback, makes the right first step.
From the Rose Bowl.
Yeah. And he was probably the best ball hawk I saw on tape watching out all these guys, because he literally read the eyes perfectly of the quarterback, made the read, and was jumping the ball before it got to the wide receiver. And he's easily the best ball hawk in this class right now.
He reminds me of Antoine Winfield, Sr.
Yeah. I love Clark Phillips III. So any of those guys for the Green Bay, I would chef's kiss. But all right, what about 6 or 10 for you?
All right, 6. No, shout out to Bird, Emmanuel Forbes. They're not all on this list. I love this from Emmanuel Forbes. And he's a lengthy corner, kind of small, kind of skinny.
He's like 160 pounds.
Yeah, he's small. How's he gonna hold up in the NFL? He's got to hold up just a bit for me. I
don't know if he can, but
so low. I don't know if he can. You never have. That's just playing split man. That's what I'm on, split man. So
that's why I call him Toothpick.
Yeah, toothpick man. Whatever you want to call him. Sorry, I lost my spot. Okay. Number 7 is Clark Phillips III. All of these corners so far have been man to man. Well, Christian Gonzalez can play both. Christian Gonzalez is a good athlete. But Clark Phillips is the best known corner in this draft. Like I was just saying, he's Antoine Winfield when it comes to the ball. Then he had some sense of Sante Samuel throw in. He can fake the quarterback and throwing it to him.
Yeah.
The number 8 is DJ Turner. We also look at DJ Turner. And I was just watching him, and this is what I was telling you earlier when I said I had 2 spots left. Number 8, DJ Turner took my second spot, because this guy is Velcro light, but he's like the Velcro that's kind of wearing off just a little bit.
He has the speed to recover.
Move.
He can recover though. He has the speed to. If you get by him, he's gonna. When the ball's in the air, he can come down and get you.
My number 9 is Julius Brent. Sorry, I don't know why I was sitting in the window. Julius Brent is my number 9 corner, and this guy is a hitter. He can hit.
This dude gets burned a lot.
Well,
burned a lot.
That didn't help in the right.
I don't know. He got burned. I sat there because I saw I was like, okay, let me when I started getting into my I knew the top 7. It was like those 7 I named.
Let me say my number 10 and then we get to this. My number 10 is Taylor Window. And I think that Window.
That's a little too low.
Well, here's my reason. Window needs to move to safety.
No.
He needs to get drafted by the New England Patriots, who will move this guy to safety, and he will be their safety for the next 10 years.
That's what Window is.
He's so good at being a ball hawk, and he's tall enough to where the ball's not going to get past him. But his problem is he got picked on consistently throughout his face. He gets picked on.
You just said that. Your number 9 done that.
Yeah, this is why the number 9 and 10.
Yeah, but you're leaving off better corners for guys who got burnt daily. And Ringo is at least big and is burnt as much as Julius Brent. Julius Brent, all he did was get burnt. No. Ringo is not a safety. Ringo will be a solid number 2 corner once he gets coached up in the NFL. Julius Brent, I have a massive issue. All I saw, Julius Brent is short, so he gets picked on by every. Dude, he is not that big. He is not. Julius Brent is a short corner. Did you? I know this is not fair to him, but did you not see him buy Quentin Johnson, or whatever his damn name is, the TCU linebacker? He was like this, and Johnson was like this. Julius Brent is
6'4".
No, that he did not match. He did not match that up to.
He is 6'4".
It 6'3". He does not look like it on tape.
He's big.
He looked like he got burnt, and he was a midget compared to
Quentin Johnson.
It's only 2 inches taller, 6'5".
It's the number 2 wide receiver in the draft.
Number one, for most people. But again, what I'm saying is that Bentz got torched left and right. He didn't look as big.
By Quentin Johnson.
Listen to me. My God, it's my turn to rebuttal. Jesus.
All right, go.
Bentz looked short on tape because all he did was get burnt, and he did not look that tall. I'm shocked that when I was watching him against fucking Quentin Johnson, I was like, oh, he's like 6 foot 5'10". He did not look 6'3" on tape. He's bigger than I expected. I didn't look at tape. I was before him, but he got burnt by everybody. After like 3 games, every game he was the corner that people were picking on. He did not shut down a wide receiver one in any game, and he was Kansas State's number 1 corner. He couldn't shut down anybody, stop anybody. They picked on him left and right and up the middle. Bentz is a 5th rounder at best. Bentz, I don't understand it with Bentz. I was underwhelmed with him on tape. I don't even know what to say that was positive for Bentz besides he would get burnt by every route in the playbook. I don't care. He only tackles when the person stays in front of him.
He might have to move to slot corner or something. That might be better suited for him.
And he's still going to get burnt left and right. The dude, all he does is get burnt. Yeah, he can hit. Woo! But guess what? You can't hit when you're getting burnt.
Just move him to safety too. Just move both of those guys.
Bentz might be better at safety than corner, is all I'm saying. Bentz is not even the top 15 corners for me.
You are. Well, I didn't like Kyle Kelly, and Eli Ricks is too small for me. And Eli Ricks got
I
better
like
than
Eli Ricks. Eli Ricks is another corner that I think isn't getting enough. Garrett Williams as well from the other corner from Syracuse. Or not
Yeah,
other
yeah,
corner,
no,
just Syracuse.
I do like him. The other corner
Uh,
from Illinois, I don't know in and out, but he's good too.
yeah. I also Jalen Jones from Texas A&M. He's a better corner than Brett Benson, in my opinion. He's not great, but I mean, one that we hated on, and I think it needs to be talked about, is Trevius Hodges Tomlinson from TCU.
Hey, Green, I don't know if you're listening or watching, but you need to lay out the lead, my friend. I don't know why Hodges Tomlinson is so high on your list.
Yeah.
We want to talk about top 15 corners. He might not make it.
Yeah. Yeah. Trevius Hodges Tomlinson is another work in progress, and that's saying it gently. He's tiny, he's small.
He's gonna work on growing like 20 inches, if that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
He's like 5'7".
He is tiny. I don't know how he's gonna last.
A couple more inches taller than me.
All right. So let's go ahead and move it to our safety position, and I'll go ahead and start here again. And starting with my number 1 is Antonio Johnson from Texas A&M. My number 2 is Deion Branch from Alabama. Number 3 is Jordan Yeah. Oh, Brian Branch from Alabama.
I'm like, yeah, Branch.
I wish.
Wide
receiver. Yeah, wide receiver. Number 3 is Jordan Battle from Alabama. Number 4, draft crush, L.J. Skinner from Boise State. I loved what L.J. Skinner had to offer. And number 5.
I don't know why I like him, but okay.
And number 5 is Jamie Robinson from Florida State. And he almost didn't make my number 5. He's really close with my number 6. I might have to switch it. But Antonio Johnson, I just think he was everywhere. Antonio Johnson never gave up on the play. If he ended up on the left side of the field because of the play and the ball ended up on the right side, Johnson was over on the right side going in nonstop. Great in coverage. He had a couple of nice interceptions at his time in Texas A&M. Shows that he can catch the ball. Brian Branch, I like him. I don't know. I honestly, I can see why everybody argues Johnson and Branch at 1 and 2. You know, that everybody flip-flops. Branch, to me, his numbers from his combine showed what we see on tape. Like, I expected more from Branch, but the more you watch and get deeper in there, I understand his free fall. He could end up not being a first-round pick. There could be no safeties taken in the first round this year.
I'm having a hard time with.
Yeah, and it's very hard. I don't think I have a first. I could say a first late on
By
Johnson.
the way, like, I just don't see it with
this class.
With Skinner, I don't see what you. Maybe if he can hit, let him hit. He can hit. But I just didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Brian
That's all I
Branch.
saw for hitting.
Brian Branch for me is not he was the on the ball safety. He was never in coverage. It felt like he always felt like he was that 8th guy in the box. He was like that. Yeah, he's a box safety. He's not, so that scares me, and that's not what really.
Know what Brian Branch is? Brian Branch is another Brian Dawkins.
Yeah,
He can hit like Brian Dawkins, man.
Yeah, okay, but
cover like Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, I don't think Branch can cover it. That's all I'm like. I don't think you could. You could probably put him up against a tight end, but I don't think he can't go against. You're not hoping he's not going to go against a running back because he'll get.
I'm gonna have a shocker here at number 3 here. So number 1, Antonio Johnson. I think it's clear cut that I'm looking at everyone else's safeties, and the brother has an earlier down for that 3, and he's got the 2 Alabama corners ahead of him. I don't see that. I don't see this.
I don't either. I didn't understand. I saw that.
Alabama love, I don't know, but Mike Lance is really good. He's still number 2 for me. Antonio Johnson, you hit the nail on the head here. Antonio Johnson can do it all. And there's not many safeties in this draft that can do it all.
No.
Honestly, I'm looking at all 9 of these guys, and they all do one thing really well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, number 3 is another guy who does one thing really well, and he's got the brains. He's got one of the best football IQs at safety in this draft, and that's Christopher Smith.
That's my draft crush,
hero.
I love Chris. I love that. That was my draft crush. I wanted to put him at 5, so I'm glad.
The more I watch him, the more I'm like, oh man, this guy's good.
Yeah.
I don't know who I compare him to. Noah compare him to another white guy. Eric Weddle. He's Eric Weddle. Good football IQ, always around the ball, knows how to catch the ball and get his hands on it.
Yep. He's another
and
one.
He was the leader of that Bulldog secondary.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love Christopher Smith. I'm really upset I didn't put him in my top 5 because
so Christopher Smith. Jordan Battle number 4 and Kenny Robinson. I really love Kenny Robinson. I don't like Black versus Kenny Robinson. I just want him to be a little bit better.
Yeah, that was my issue with like the more you watch Jamie Robinson, you're like, ooh, yeah, but you're like, just, and I think that's why I like him so high because what he does everything good, and I think everybody can see that.
Wilson.
Yeah, you just a little bit of tweak here and a little bit of tweak there, and Jamie goes up the.
Well, yeah, so, he's looking ahead of Christopher Smith for me. Christopher Smith.
Christopher Smith, you nailed it on the head for everything you said about Christopher Smith. Like his IQ, his ball hawk ability. He's a lot like Clark Phillips, the best ball hawk for the cornerback class. Christopher Smith is probably the best ball hawk out of the safety class. He high points the ball. He gets to the ball. He recovers and doesn't let anybody burn him behind him as a safety is what you all want. You don't want your safety to get beat over the top. And I never saw him on tape get beat over the top, which is always a great thing to see from your safety. He can come down and lay the lumber. I believe he had 1 sack this last season. So coming out of the safety position to get a sack is always nice. He is a good run supporter. He's good at Christopher Smith does everything well and a couple of things great.
What do you have a number 6?
He's my number 6, and I really love him. And, going back really quick, you didn't say, like, LJ Skinner for me, yeah, he can hit. He's another box safety, I believe, but also I thought he did everything else well. I didn't think he was I never saw him get beat often over the top either. So I really appreciate it. See, I didn't see him I felt like he always covered and made sure he didn't get crazy beat over the top. So LJ, and like I said, he's a run supporter. You wanted to talk about a guy who can hit like Brian Dawkins. It's LJ Skinner.
Yeah. No. Oh, yeah. I'm talking about Brian Williams.
Yeah.
Well,
but Brian.
So who's numbers?
So 6 through 10. 6 through 10. Christopher Smith is my 6. Number 7 for me is the boy from Oklahoma State, and that's Jason Taylor III.
Man, I thought I was going to be the only one high on this guy.
No, I was shocked. Talking about another ball hawk. Jason Taylor and Christopher Smith are the ball hawks out of this safety class. And
it's in the bloodline.
Yeah, and he does everything well. He's another corner that doesn't. He's not corner safety off the ball safety. Doesn't get beat. Gets the tackle. He makes great tackles, and he's a solid tackler. He's not one of those I'm gonna hit you and put you on. He wraps you up and puts you down. he's going to wrap you up and go through you, which I love for my safeties. Like, do I love the big hit and where you just stand over him? Yeah, of course, who doesn't like seeing that? But the problem is when you hit like that, sometimes the guy bounces off. Yeah, no, not Nick Atari Bigby, more likely.
Oh yeah,
but Jason Taylor's just beautiful. Number 8 for me is Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame. I didn't know where to put Brandon Joseph. This is where it really, to me, this draft class really just starts like teetering everywhere. Brandon Joseph never looked great on tape. He seemed like he was lost a lot. Number 9 is Jaira Brown from Penn State. I hope I said that right. I feel like that's somewhat close to his name. Jair Brown. Another guy. He's good. I see it. Another guy that seemed kind of lost, but the guy who really seemed lost, and I thought I was going to like because he's flying up the draft board, killed the combine. Sidney Brown. I don't get it.
You got him really low.
Yeah, because Sidney Brown, like, he comes down and then he stops. He's like, okay, what am I doing? Where am I going? Where's the ball? And the play's happening and done already. And he's sitting there, seems lost on the field and not doing everything. He's a good safety, but he comes down. He comes with the head, like his hair's on fire, and then he misses the play. That's easily coachable.
A little bit too aggressive. Just a little bit.
He's just a little too aggressive. He wants to play. He wants to eat you. He just wants to. I want to play this game. I love this game. I want to hit. I want to go. And then it's like, oh shit, I just got beat. You know. So those are my top 10.
They had Devin Witherspoon. Another guy.
Yeah, that guy was saving him a lot.
Well, I'm going to go with my number 6, who was new number 10, and that's Sidney Brown. And he's one of the best run stoppers at safety. He can stop the run, he can tackle. You're right, though. His aggressiveness, that's a deep. But that's coachable. Like, I really think he's going to be one of the best tackling safeties in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, I didn't know what I'm Sean Taylor. Vincent Taylor. Well, this guy can hit like Sean Taylor too. It wants to. But Vincent Taylor the second, honestly, I want to put him at 6. And let's be honest, I think that Vincent Taylor is better. So I think he should be at 6. What was it? I'm calling out Vincent Taylor is 6 now.
That's fair.
But yeah, no. A ball hawk. If you watch the tape against Texas when he picked up Lewis 2 times, and he literally just,
yeah, very much so.
He can hit, he can tackle, he's got great football IQ, he's in the bloodline. He's going to go a lot higher than people think. He's going to go higher, he's going to go about late second round, third round.
I wouldn't say second, but I think Jason Taylor's ceiling is like mid to late third round.
I just love him.
And I just think that speaks to the safety class.
Yeah. Number 8 is Jair Brown. He did just enough to get number 8. He did just enough to get number 8. And number 9, I'm switching it again here, and I'm putting J.L. Skinner ahead of Brandon Joseph. Brandon Joseph is good. I thought Brandon Joseph would be so good.
I did too.
Maybe it was the height, like I got the height, and then I was like looking at the film, and I'm like, man.
I think that was a lot of the Notre Dame players on defenses last year.
Nothing good.
Yeah, like that was all the Notre Dame defensive players that were supposed to be highlighted. Isaiah Boakey and
I know. You know what? I disagree with you on the edge. You know, with Boakey.
Isaiah.
I think Boakey's dominant. I just don't think he's not. Is he a number 1 guy? He's not a number 1 guy.
No.
He's going to get late number 2, though. So that's my list.
Yeah. Brandon Joseph, I feel like I sit there and look, and I want to move him around.
I was watching another guy. You know what? I admit another article here, and I'm not going to in the list. This is not in the list. Brandon Joseph staying there, but if I could, I would put Bolton from what's the school? The Hillville State. Hold on. I'm getting there.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Don't worry, I'll get there.
Yeah, so
Penn State.
Penn State. Are you talking about Jair? Pitt State.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get that name. I don't know who you're talking about right now.
Nico Bolton is the guy that you'll watch from Penn State. This guy does it all, and I just think he's getting way better than Brandon Joseph. He's not getting the work that Brandon Joseph.
Brandon Joseph is going to get you a lot of penalties. Because he's probably the tackler that likes to lower his head the most and go lead with his crown. Like I watched a lot of him going down and leading with his crown when he made his big tackles. I'm like, he's not going to be able to do that in the NFL. Like he shouldn't be doing it in the NCAA, obviously. Yeah, that's going to get called a lot more. Yeah, like he did it a lot, and like he needs his tackling. Yeah, he likes to lay the lumber, but he does it the wrong way. So that's my problem with Brandon Joseph. Like he'd probably be moved around a lot. Rashad Torrance from Florida is another guy I think is getting a little slept on, and Ronnie Hickman is another guy.
Ronnie Hickman. Now here's another guy that I just want to put at 10, and honestly, again, I would put Nico Bolden over him, and I would put Ronnie Hickman over him too.
You just know Ohio State defenders are usually going to be solid players in the NFL. As much as I hate saying that, they usually pan out. As right now, besides the quarterback, their defenders are really good in the NFL. They at least have a long, productive career.
A long productive career. What's his name? Who went to the Saints? He played forever. Von Bell, yeah. And then the other guy.
With Carolina Panthers.
The other guy that was got by the Saints. And he played with the Eagles. He just retired.
Oh, God, yeah, I know who, I can't think of it. But
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Long
careers. So that's it. That's our show. We got through our top 10 of all positional players. We're not going to worry about the special teamers because nobody cares about the special teamers. And how the hell do you judge the best kickers and punters?
No.
Yeah. Yes, Rich Eisman, kickers and punters are people too, but not on this podcast.
Not on this show.
But so next weekend, we will be bringing you a 2-man mock draft. Me and Chris will be taking on
Round 1.
16 teams. Yeah. Round 1 only. We're going to be taking on 16 teams each, or one will get 15 because of the stupid Dolphins. But we will be drafting for our teams. So we will be using a live mock draft simulator, and we're going to be sharing our screen so you can see it in front of you.
Yeah.
So you won't be seeing our...
Yeah,
you shouldn't be seeing our ugly faces, so that's even better.
Yeah. No one wants to see that.
But that is it for the Mocking You with podcast. Thank you for joining us, and have a great week.
Mocking with you.
I abbreviated it. Shut up.
Thank you for listening to the Mocking You podcast. Yours truly, Lil B at Brunelli Sports and the Hater at Supercharged 33.